guys, and welcome back to the randomized K-On! Pokemon Team Series. Now we move to Little Miss Tenchi. Azusa's first Pokemon will be Aggron. That's a very solid start.
Lame.
While you do need to be careful with who you send Aggron out against given its 2-4x weaknesses, it is still a powerhouse. It has fantastic physical stats, and Steel is still a great typing to have, especially against Dragon and Fairy, which I believe are still the top 2 typings. For abilities, they all seem pretty good, although I'm not too fond of the risks of Heavy Metal. Sure, it makes Heavy Slam stronger, but Low Kick will basically be an OHKO. For level up moves, it gets no Rock moves, which is odd. It's part Rock type, why not give it Rock Tomb or Rock Slide? For TMs, it gets a damn good amount of coverage, including Ice Beam, Blizzard, Solar Beam, and Aerial Ace to counter its major ground and fighting weaknesses. So a phenomenal start to Azusa's team. It won't be outspeeding anything except though slower than it, but it hits hard, has several move choices, and would be a very valuable team member. Azusa's second Pokemon will be Absol. Another good one. While Absol didn't do too well in MJTV's Dark-type Gym Leader run, it's still a great Pokemon to have. It is very much a glass cannon. Terrific physical attack, but kinda mediocre everything else. So it's a case of go in, hit hard, go home. For abilities, I definitely like the appeal of Super Luck. Pressure is alright, and I struggle to see the logic of giving it Justified when Moxie could basically do the same thing. Yes, Justified could be useful in double battles, but that's pretty niche. For level up moves, it gets good attacks. Slash and Night Slash paired with Super Luck sounds amazing, and Psycho Cuts can help with its fighting weakness. For TMs, it's not expansive, and its middling special attack means the special attacks won't hit all that hard. But the coverage of Ice, Electric, Ghost, Fire, Rock, and Flying is very welcome. So still a great team member to have. It hits damn hard and is fairly flexible with its attacks, so it will definitely put in work. Azusa's third Pokemon will be Cinccino. One that I'm not familiar with, although I believe it's said to be pretty good. And Cinccino is a cute Pokemon, much like how Azusa is cute, so I feel she'd have little problem using one. It has great physical attack and speed, so it'll hit pretty hard and fast, though it is lacking some bulk. For abilities, they all seem very useful. Attraction by Q-Charm is the most annoying status condition as there is no item that cures it. Technician makes its weaker attacks hit a bit harder, and Skill Link ensures all attacks that hit between 2 and 5 times always hit 5 times. For level up moves, it's atrocious, at least if you're using a Cinccino right off the bat. It's much better to evolve it over time to get more attacks. For TMs, it's nowhere near as expansive as other normal types, but there's useful moves here. So a bit of a step down from the first two, but I can see people getting some use from Cinccino. This is very much a Pokemon worth considering. Azusa's fourth Pokemon will be Sawsbuck. Azusa gets the seasonal Pokemon. I wonder what you'd think about that. Sawsbuck, I think, is one of those Pokemon meant to show off a particular gimmick. In this case, its seasonal forms. It has very similar stats to Cinccino, being a relatively fast physical attacker, but with different distributions. For abilities, Serene Grace is definitely the one I would personally go for given all the praises I've heard about it, but Chlorophyll also has its use. For level up moves, even if you start with a Sawsbuck right off the bat, it's pretty damn good. And the fact that it can start with Mega Horn is fantastic. For TMs, it's not all that impressive, which I think is partly because of its part Grass type. So a fairly decent Pokemon to have. If nothing else, Azusa can ride on it if she so desired, and that's something I would absolutely love to see. Azusa's fifth Pokemon will be Toxicroak. That's another good one. And Toxicroak was also someone else to drag Brock away whenever he went gaga over a girl. Much like Absol, Toxicroak is a physical attacker with low defenses, and because of its typing, even a mid-power psychic attack might OHKO it. For abilities, it's hard to say which would be most useful, though if I've read the info right, Poison Touch will cause poisoning if either the attacker or the targets make contact, whereas Poison Point only causes poison if the target makes contact. So maybe this is the best one? For level up moves, it gets a bit of coverage, although it would be nice if it got another fighting attack. For TMs, it's usable, and Rock Tomb and Shadow Ball can help counter its flying and psychic weaknesses. So a strong Pokemon to have. I think it would take some planning and good timing to use Toxicroak well, since that 4 times psychic weakness would have to be kept in mind, but it would still be a good team member. And Azusa is a smart girl. I feel she'd learn how to best use it. And Azusa's last Pokemon will be Beartic. That's not a bad way to end. The Ice type is still regarded as one of, if not the worst type, but it still has some impressive Pokemon to its name, and Beartic seems a good Pokemon to have. It has ridiculous physical attack, and its HP isn't shabby, although it is slow. For abilities, does it really need to have 2 that both raise speed? For level up moves, the addition of a fighting and a water attack to battle rock, steel, and fire types is very welcome. For TMs, it gets great coverage, which is not something I've really seen with other ice types. There's some real choice here. So a very powerful end to this team. I'm not sure how Azusa would react to seeing a fierce Pokemon like Beartic, but I don't think she'd run away screaming like Mia would. And that's it for Azusa's Gen 5 team. Overall, I call this very solid. The Pokemon do seem to be lacking in defenses for the most part, but you could use a team like this very effectively, and I see no reason why Azusa couldn't do that. As always, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to come join me on Discord, consider backing me on Patreon, and remember to stay chilled.